Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Wow, StreamYard. Wow, I I watched Sticks last pod, and I think he was on mute with Emerson for like 10 minutes, and it's crazy because I all my sound checks came through. All my sound checks came through. But you know what? When you miss a week or two of streaming, this is what happens. This is exactly what happens. Let's try that again. Welcome to the trade room. It's a macro Saturday, and it's a macro Saturday. And what I was saying was, when you miss a week or two of streaming and being tapped into the game, you miss a lot. And obviously, look at me and my setup, muted for the first 5 minutes here. But did give a shout out to the chat, Sergeant Filthy McNasty, Skiller, Dags. Thank you guys for pulling up. The OGs always make sure to find a way to pull up. This specific stream, we're going to be talking about preparing for parabolic price action, right? I've been kind of bearish. I've been kind of bearish for the last 2 months or so, especially since touching the all-time high. And the previous stream we had was bulls gearing up. And a lot of time when you're waiting for impulse up price action, it does not happen immediately, right? It takes time to form. So we're going to talk about what that looks like, right? What does preparing for parabolic price action look like? And in this specific tweet, we say some alts are bottoming, ready to rip to Valhalla. Some have topped. Time to prepare. So shout out to Sticks. Sticks is in the building. He said I'm about to go parabolic listening to this. Yeah, shout out to you, Sticks. So that is the main emphasis of what we have here in today's stream. Listen, we can talk about the last cycle. We can talk about the cycle before that. And you see people tweeting about making, oh my God, I made so much money. But what we have had in multiple cycles are individuals who, at some point, they put some funds in, they saw it rise up tremendously, and they were like, this is going to keep going. I know this is going to keep going. And then what happens? You just get a slow drip, 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 and then you're underwater, and you have to wait for the next round of things, right? So preparing for the parabolic price action. It's an important thing to talk about, right? I try to provide something a little different in my streams from others, or we look at the charts. We try to forecast, we try to prepare. The probability forecast, is it always right on time? Not so much, right? We're a macro channel. Are we right on our inference, preparing for upwards motion or downwards motion? That's for the audience to decide, right? So that's the main topic of conversation today: prepare for parabolic price action. Of course, we're going to look at the charts. Alt season. We're looking at certain patterns. Really bullish pattern on Jewel, even though it's back at 11 cents, right? That's the Jewel inverse head and shoulders that we saw in a minute formation before. We're going to talk about rotation from large cap winners to others, right? The things that you saw do well before the Bitcoin halving happened, is that the same thing that we're going to see do well in this second half of this bull run? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about some of the games and ecosystems that we're looking into. I've really been bullish on Spellborn, but also too on Leaf and the backwoods ecosystem. and we'll talk about that just a little bit. And of course, Mythic Squad Void Hunt V2. And speaking of, speaking of, we do have Mythic Squad Void Hunt 2 tournament that is going to be continuing on pretty soon. So want to give a shout out and a highlight to that. We got Mr. Ego in the building. Said my son holding strong with this guy's hilarious. We have the running joke where we call each other sons, but he's really and truly my son. You know, birthed from my seed, and he has a twin, so that means I have two sons, right? So what's happening in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystems? Well, DeFi Kingdoms, Sticks Intern, and Mythic Squad. Things are heating up in the MSVH2 tournament. The qualifying round is complete. We have our 16 competitors and seeding is set. Only one will be king, queen. I don't know if that's a typo there, but I'll ignore that. With over 2K USD in tokens up for grabs and tons of, I'm going to show more, and tons of mythic prizes. So, dude, I mean, PvP is already happening. We in the community have made it happen, and we're through to the round of 16. So we have the number one seed Nick Shaw versus 16 Zion, Mega versus Muller Through, and Mega is in the Jewelers. So we have two from the Jewelers in this tournament. We have All Cool, who's always a top 5 favorite. Maddie Pesk in here as well from Boxside. Danimal, I think Danimal went crazy during that first rendition. DFK Tails, DFK Dejan, Code Green, Larray. I hope I'm saying that right. It's not Larray. Skiller, shout out to Mythic Squad. Just Crypto, NY Hero, Caracat, and Golden Eye. So it's about to get heated and heavy. And this will be launching soon. I know my eyes will be glued to this tournament that's happening in the ecosystem. So we have Beeve in the building. Says, we rich yet? I'm going to actually tell a story of where that thumbnail came from. Oh, so Larray is Mythic Squad too? Oh, that's fire, dude. How many from the Mythic Squad do we have? Let me know how many Mythics from Mythic Squad we have in this tournament, because we got two strong from the Jewelers. Dax says trade. Just so you know, Larray is Jeremy. That's what? Dude, how many aliases does Jeremy have, man? It's, my gosh. This man is like Jason Bourne, man. What the frick is all these aliases coming from? But so yeah, I'm very, very excited for that. Like the last one, I literally sat there, watched all day. This one, you know, I've had some family stuff going on. So even like I've been at the hospital, right? I'm at the hospital, my phone is on, I'm jumping in from round to round, I'm commenting. You know, this is how you know we are ready, eager for PvP to come. That's officially promoted and hosted by DeFi Kingdoms. And we know what's happening on Metis. So we're going to also talk about Metis as we go along too. So yeah, so that's what we have there, right? Really quickly going to tell a little backstory with the thumbnail that I have here. And I'm going to share this thumbnail. And I'm going to give you guys the backstory to this thumbnail, right? So check this out. My wife, right? She's not super into this crypto space, right? I mean, if you look, let me bring this down here and show you guys. If you look at my shirt here, it says blockchain, and it gives the definition of blockchain: a digital database of ledger that is distributed among the nodes of a peer-to-peer network, right? Like we're heavy into the space. I'm big on blockchain. 99% of this world doesn't kind of know what's going on, what's happening. We're in this space, eh, we're the minority, right? And so cool. But we have significant others. Over the years, we tell our significant others, hey, this is a great thing happening in this space. And they normally wait to ask us about it towards the end of the bull market. And so my wife, I've gotten in. I said, hey, put some of your funds in here, right? And she says, why? And I'm like, well, it's gonna go up. And she's like, well, it's gonna go up this month. The last bull market, she had a little bit in, and because it was a little bit, didn't really pull out, even though she saw it climb up. And she keeps asking me, when? I'm following the charts, and I'm like, well, we're going to go through the first portion of the bull market. We're going to go through the Bitcoin halving. And about 6 to 8 months from the Bitcoin halving is going to give us the best opportune time to take some profit. But I want you to understand that we're going to be in this space for at least 20 to 30 years. All right. So every other month, hey, my account is down. Is it going up? Well, leading towards the Bitcoin halving, account went up tremendously. Post Bitcoin halving, account has trickulated back down. So she continues to ask, hey, when am I getting that 5x? When am I getting that 8x? When am I getting that 10x? And my rhetoric to her was, well, we're going to get through a summer lull, right? Summer lull. You see things go down. And honey, I hope you're ready because the top is near and you are going to start seeing your account do some ridiculous things going from August, right? Let's say July. Going from late July to late October, you're going to start seeing your account doing some ridiculous things. So we are preparing for parabolic price action, but we're also preparing for the top of the market, right? And when we look at the charts, that's a bit of what we are going to talk about today. So, with that being said, want to share the screen again just so you guys know. Going on with Dags later today on the Jewelers Live to talk updates, to talk AMA, and to talk a myriad of other things as well. As you guys know, uh, we, the streamers, utilize Donate Live. I have pinned my Donate Live tab to the comments section. And dude, I mean, this is freaking awesome. Like, I'm not looking for like amazing funds from here. I just love that we're able to do this here for the lifetime of this account. The funds go in here. I have never removed any funds from here, and I will continue to allow this to stay here. I may even utilize this account to do what? To come back around and do giveaways based on this account. But I plan to let this account sit here through a bear market for the next bull market, and we will see how these assets do as well. But appreciate all the donations that have come my way. I was in top 8 when it came to the leaderboard, and I don't know what the hell happened. But Zen and Sticks in turn have literally taken this over. Sir Worm, I mean, oh man, people have just taken. I'm still top 10, right? I'm still top 10, but it's gotten a little ridiculous. It has gotten a little ridiculous here, my friends. So we're gonna jump into. What did I just do? What did I just do? Let's go back to here. We're gonna go into the charts, and again, Preparing for parabolic action, price action, preparing for the top. Okay, we have to look at charts, as boring as they may be. And I believe Skiller had some tokens in which he was watching, he was tracking. A few months ago, Skiller mentioned a couple of his assets that he was watching. I said, "Holy schmoly, this thing looks pretty bullish." Skiller, if you can remind me of what some of those tokens were, I'd love to take another look at them months later, especially now that we're going through a bit of this correctional period that we are in with the markets. Um, I love I love the conversations that happen in the chat because it's like a whole nother universe. But the shit that caught my eye is Skiller says, "I wouldn't play Dax. He's a real gamer." Skiller is such a freaking like he's probably one of the best gamers in DeFi Kingdoms, and he tries to play coy. And like the thing I'm waiting for the most is like when PvP kicks off, we're really gonna see who like the gamers are. We're really gonna see who the ruthless, badass mother effers are. And something tells me Skiller is there. Something tells me Skiller is there. All right, awesome. So, Sticks Beef, I made a meme for you, and gotta love the chat. So, all right, we're gonna dig into charts. Okay, we're gonna take a close look at Bitcoin and what we are expecting from Bitcoin, what we have been tracking for Bitcoin. And again, as you guys know, there is a order of liquidity, that we follow. And right now, all season after this pattern, all season after these things that we're looking for, that's what we're going to talk about as we break down Bitcoin. And let's do a quick analysis of Bitcoin and see what we have in store. We're going to look at Metis and we're going to look at a few other things. Right off the bat, what I want you guys to understand before we get into the minutia of things, Bitcoin is getting ready to go mother effing parabolic. I keep saying that. It's getting ready to go mother effing parabolic. All right. It's showed the signs of that. And this is what it took to break out of to break into back to test its all-time high. And all we're seeing is consolidation here at the all-time high. If we're looking at RSI, relative strength indicator, we see that RSI was up here. And when you're overbought this much, you got to cool down, especially when you're testing what? The previous all-time high area. Okay, when you're doing that, it's going to be a little crazy. It's going to be a little consolidation that happens in this area. And generally speaking, what did we say once we got to this area? I turned bearish as a mofo, where I said, hey, a 20 to 30% correction is due. As we were in this formation, we saw what we call a falling wedge, which is not bearish, it is bullish. Now, from that falling wedge, and again, none of these arrows have changed. From a falling wedge, you normally have a falling wedge come back to test the top of that falling wedge channel. And Bitcoin has yet to do that. Now, for the time that has passed by, I don't think that Bitcoin is going to break 60K. Now we have a $63,000 support area here at this pink line. We have a $58,000 support here at this yellow line. That $58,000 area was tested here in May of 2024. But since March of 2024, we have had nothing but consolidation. Okay. And so, what is the hill that I'm willing to climb on? The hill that I'm willing to climb on, if we're looking at this daily chart, every candle is a day, is I think the 63K area here is going to hold. We have discussed this in the jewelers Discord verbatim. We have discussed this in the jewelers Discord nonstop. Is I believe the 63K area will hold. At its lowest, 60K is the area that we're looking for. If you see price dip below 60K, and this 58K region does not hold, call me out. Okay. But this consolidation that's happening here and these continued higher lows, I believe that 63K will hold. Where do we go from there? Again, falling wedge, breakout, back test, 92K. I think that what we're waiting for is an impulse. Once I get that impulse, my confidence level skyrocket. But this move from 69K to 92K can happen in an instant. Okay. And so again, parabolic price action getting ready to happen. I was bearish. I was bearish. I've been bearish since March. I've been expecting a 20 to 30% correction. We're no longer there. So from our current place that we are to that 92K, a 39% move from Bitcoin. If it goes down to 63K, that is a 46% move from Bitcoin. That's nothing. Okay, that's nothing. Now, from when we've been tracking and we said, hey, we already tracked all this movement here, support at 25K, beautiful, right? Now, we said that from this 41K area, why is this 41K area significant? This is that bull market area. This is what we call the F around and find out zone. We got a lot of consolidation here. From this area, we projected from 41K or 39K a 443% move to the max upside of $216,000 for Bitcoin. I don't think it goes that high. Okay. I think that when Bitcoin gets to that $92,000 area, corrects down, bow, all coins start going crazy as Bitcoin starts making its move through this correction and tries to go above 92K. Now, what is important about this Bitcoin move from 69K, its previous all-time high, to 92K, which is price appreciation? Some altcoins that were perceived to be weak will get really strong. And some altcoins that were perceived to be strong will distribute their large cap money down to those that were perceived as weak. That's just simply what it is. Okay. When we look at the monthly chart of Bitcoin to wrap this up, we have had this mid Bollinger of the month. Each candle is a month has been slowly making its way up here. We were looking at this mid Bollinger. It's been going down, 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 down for this long period of time. Why were we so bullish at 26K? Because we saw this mid Bollinger start to round its way here. Okay, and I'm going to turn this Bollinger off. Okay, when you're looking at this, okay, July and August, their candles, July and August candles can easily hit 92K. You've got to think about price. Sometimes you can't time it out, but for price, July and August candles can hit 92K very easily. Okay. And so what happens as Bitcoin makes its way from previous all-time high, 69K, over to 92K, is the coins that were perceived as weak will mother effing rip. The coins that were perceived as strong, some of that distribution will go to their lower ecosystem. So AVAX kind of moves strong. It hasn't really moved that strong. I think AVAX is going to do tremendously well. Even so, some of that liquidity from AVAX will trickle down over to Jewel, over to some of the meme coins on AVAX, right? And so if we're looking at AVAX now, we're moving on from Bitcoin. What do we say with Bitcoin? We are bullish on Bitcoin. And probably over the next 2 to 4 weeks, no, 2 to 4 weeks is too long. But literally the next 7 to 14 days, we expect Bitcoin to make some mega moves. Now, looking at AVAX, nothing has changed. If you see where this inference was made, this was April of this year. We expected AVAX to make a move, possibly up to 49 if it was strong, but we expected AVAX to reject and to come back down towards bull market support area, which is $21.35. What are we currently seeing from AVAX? We're seeing that exact movement, okay? Coming back down towards the bull market support area. Now, do I believe that it goes all the way down to $21? I don't believe so. But if we were to have some sort of flash crash down to $21, I certainly wouldn't be surprised. Why? Because we've been watching this pattern since April of this year. And it would be an area to gladly scoop up some AVAX. But again, as Bitcoin makes its way, parabolic price action towards 92K, liquidity is going to leave some things, those things that did really well. Liquidity is going to leave that and try to find Bitcoin. But those that did really poorly, liquidity is going to run towards those things. One of those things is XRP. I still maintain a heavy bullishness on XRP. I think XRP on the back end of this bull run is going to do tremendously well. And people are sleeping on it. It's okay, right? Because people go to the hottest thing, right? So we're going to take a look at Metis. Okay, we're gonna take a look at Metis. Why? Because that's where our stomping grounds are going to be. That's where our stopping grounds are going to be. We're going to look at Metis. Okay. Before we do that, I'm going to take a look at the chat really quickly. What up, J Dub? Look, yo, J Dub, man, this dude, he wins so many of the raffles. He just gets so many freaking drops of loot from DeFi Kingdoms. I don't know how he does it, man. And he doesn't really worry about luck on his heroes. I think he's like the number one example of dispelling the whole luck, thing as well. So shifting over to Skiller, he says not sure what tokens. I think Mina is the one that you had me look at. KDA is one as well. I want to make sure that I just jot this down really quickly and really quickly in my notes because I do want to go back and look at this, right? So we have Mina for Skiller, we have Mina, then we have KDA, and then we have CKB. All right. Skiller will take a look at those. Let's see. I think he has one more. SU. Okay. So I'm going to log those down. We'll take a look at those in a bit. Saying that one outlier can dispel a parabolic outcome demonstrates a misunderstanding of probabilities. Let me see if I can say that one outlier can dispel a parabolic outcome demonstrates a misunderstanding of probability. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have outliers all the time, right? You're gonna have outliers all the time. I think I'm understanding what Sticks is saying here. You're always gonna have outliers, and so while Bitcoin is making that aggressive move to 92K, which is probably gonna be a lot of traffic between 92K and 100K because it's just psychologically so impactful. You're gonna have outliers, but there's gonna be an overall momentum of those that were that were disappointing or lackluster in movement also do extremely well. And I think J Dub might agree with me that XRP is just one of those. XRP is just sitting and waiting. When you talk about parabolic, oh geez, I just orgasmic what I see in the XRP chart and what it's getting ready to do, even though some have slept on the right? So, um, my brother, I did not say. Hold on, hold on. Did he not say parabolic? Oh, saying that one ally can dispel is a probabilistic outcome. That damn sticks. You're gonna have me doing this on. Oh, jeez, man. Probabilistic, probability, probabilize. Okay. Um, J-Dub says I have a love-hate relationship. I do too. I have a love-hate relationship with XRB too, right? And I do have a bag of it, right? And quite honestly, this is what I say about XRP because when you look at my PFP, I have Jewel and I have XRP. XRP taught me the long game. XRP taught me the macro game. XRP taught me the Warren Buffett theory, where you come into a space, everybody's gonna tell you you're wrong. Everybody's gonna tell you this is a banker's coin or this thing sucks, and you have to stick to your guns. You have to understand your theory, and you have to ride it out and ignore what everybody's saying. So that's my relationship with XRP is that it taught me a lot. So psychologically, it has to remain in my portfolio because I believe I'll benefit long term, but I believe it's my consummate reminder to go against the grain as we sit in this very young asset class of about 14 years now. So that's my thing behind XRP. It's forever going to be my darling, and it's forever giving me an opportunity to change my life based upon what I know about the technology. So I'm there with you, J Dub. So we've looked at Bitcoin, we've looked at AVAX, right? A lot of the inferences, the macro inferences that we had on these assets are came into fruition, right? A lot of the inferences that we had came into fruition. Some inferences haven't come into fruition. Swift Pistol, we'll talk about that and our feelings about that. But we are getting ready for PvP in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem, right? Everyone's like PvP, PvP. And so the ecosystem that we are going into, Metis, what is the health of that ecosystem? What are the inferences that we made about Metis? And what do we have coming forward? We know Bitcoin, we know AVAX, we talked XRP. The things that did not do so well are set to flourish as Bitcoin makes its way to 92K and after we do escape velocity into the 100K zone, right? So I believe that with Metis, uh, what happened with Metis was is near the top. There were the incentives for Metis. There were the incentives for the different pools, the torch pools that they were setting up, all in preparation for PvP. And I'm looking at Metis chart, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing has done 100% move from its Fibonacci retracement. You know, it was still like $151. And I said, guys, I would love to be able to jump into these pools, but Metis is too expensive. It's too overvalued at the moment. We projected that on a correction, Metis could come down to as low as $45. And that would be the sweet spot. Why? Based upon some of the historical resistance that was here, that historical resistance upon a correction can turn into a support. And that would be the area where we would look for a formation of a pattern that could tell us that this is now turned into support. There's some consolidation around this area, and we can look to move on from there. Did we get the $45? No. We did get as low as $50. $5 off after being at $150. Pretty accurate, right? And so what do we have going on here? Well, as you can see from this inference, and we were looking at this in March of 2024, as you can see from this inference, we eventually expect Metis to make its way back up towards $259 from the current place that it's in now. That's about what, an 1112x. Looks juicy at the current moment. We've continued to get higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. But again, Metis is one of those things that did do really well. And so if we're saying that coming up for the parabolic move, and again, it's hard to time things, but from myself and other traders that I respect or market analysts that I respect, I'm very convinced that the end of 2024 will be nearing the top of the market. You may have some things that just finish out and pump out towards, like January, late December, January, maybe even February. But I'm of the absolute opinion the top of the market, the top of at least Bitcoin happens this year. October region, November region is really where I will be scaling out. Not financial advice. Every single thing I do here and on Twitter and everything else is my personal journal. Okay. And so, quite honestly, because I'm excited about PvP, if I can, you know, get some profit off of something else, maybe blow, I would highly consider stacking up, 5 to 10 Metis tokens. Does Torch open back up at some point where I can farm some Torch? Maybe. But when we take a look closer at Metis, I do believe that we're getting close to finding a bottom here. Our projections here on Metis were absolutely savagely on point. And I do think that at the worst, Metis will probably test $51 again. But the bottom is practically basically in for Metis. And if DeFi Kingdoms is starting its Coliseum over at Metis, if we have Metis rounding its bottom out, we have Jewel rounding its bottom out, and we have Torch starting to make parabolic price action up, then Jewel sits in another liquidity spot that is primed to have eyeballs looking at this ecosystem. So that's why I decided to throw Metis on what we're looking at here. And again, just to wrap this up, from where it's at right now, it's about a 332% move. If for some reason it comes back to test this $44 region, it's a 480% move. But I hope some magical $1,000 comes out of nowhere, and if it does, half would go to Jewel, half would go to Metis, if there's an opportunity there to get into some sort of pool or to prepare for the Coliseum, right? Prepare for the Coliseum. Stick says this stream is just trade showing off his. Listen, not all the calls are correct. Okay, some of my calls have been horrible, but the macro calls, I gotta say, the macro calls has been the macro calls. Heineken, we have the Heineken. The macro call has been quite on point, Sticks. So that's that for Metis, right? I believe we've looked at the larger cap things. I actually really like Matic. Matic looks good. Cardano looks good. A bunch of things look good, right? The things that have underperformed look really good, and that's the overall conversation we have. Rotation from large cap winners to others. This is really what happens in the space. So Solana, yeah, okay, I think Solana is still gonna do well. I think Solana $700 is feasible for Solana. I do think Solana still has some correction periods to go through. $700 to $1,000, I still stick by it, right? But I think Solana even if it's $700, from $105, which I think is the support, it's only a 6x. It's only a 6x. So if you're someone buying Solana right now saying, oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome, you have a window of $700 to $1,000. It's only a 6x, right? And so where do the 10x, 20x, 30x sit? It sits in the underperformers. Okay. So this now leads us to let's go take a look at Jewel. Okay. Let's go take a look at it inverse head and shoulders on Jewel. Okay. And before we do that, I'm just gonna, and let me share this tab here. Let me open up Jewel, and I'm gonna share this tab here. And I'm gonna just refresh my donate live just in case I got any donations. I want to make sure that I give a proper shout out. If I've got none, not a problem. We can move on. Hey, it looks like I got one. I got 36 blotas from Dag. Says, enjoy meme fish. Appreciate that, Dags. Jewelers stay hot, hot, hot. I'm just ecstatic about that slogan. The slogan that we have. Jewelers stay hot. All right. So before I actually dig into the chart, right? Before I dig into the chart, I'm going to share this right here. This tweet that I made here. The tweet says, ever seen a do or die moment? Last time we saw a parabolic. No, I'm stuck on parabolic. Last time we saw a probable inverse head and shoulders pattern, Jewel spiked from 7 cents to 80 cents. This one is even bigger. We discussed tonight. And when I hop over to the Jewel chart, you guys will see, but let me just show you the picture. Inverse head and shoulders, mega inverse head and shoulders. That pun was definitely intended. And then we have here the beginning of DeFi Kingdoms at 0.007. Then we have the large crash at 11.115. Then we have depression. Oh, depression. Then we have bull market indicator. And so, we're going to look at the chart itself, and we're going to talk. We're going to talk, what is it with Jewel? What are we looking at? Is Jewel dead? A lot of the coins that people are saying are dead, my goodness, are they going to have such a resurgence? What up, two noobs? How you doing, man? Shout out to you. Hot, hot, hot jewelers. Stay mother effing hot. Two noobs. Thanks for the room for the insight as always. Yeah, appreciate you, two noobs, for all the hard work you continue to do. So let's dig into Jewel. Okay. It's been a long time since I've done a breakdown of Jewel. My apologies, because we may be here for a while. All right. So I'm gonna pull this up here, and this is the same picture that I put up. All right. And let me just go ahead and finish this beer here. Oh, there's quenching. There's quenching. The last time I called the inverse head and shoulders, shout out to Sticks. I'm boasting a little here. Because when it comes to charts, like, you have to make a call before anything happens, and it's all probability. And people will absolutely shit on you if you're wrong, and if you're right, it's it was gonna happen. It was gonna happen, right? And so the thing I want to put your guys' attention to is 2021 is when Jewel launched. Okay, it launched at 0.007. You can see that here at the bottom here. Okay, 0.007. Okay, and it literally did up only from its launch. Of course, as we all know, let me switch over to the weekly chart where each candle is weak. As we all know, it had a major crash. Okay. And when it had that crash, a year later, right? So it had an amazing 1 year run, right? August of 2022 to June of August of 2021 to June of 2022, right? Absolute capitulation where it went to June of 2022, 11 cents, right? More specifically, 11.5 cents. And we had this run here where from this 2022 area, it had about a 80% run, and everybody was like, Jewel is back. Yeah, we're making our way to bam. Then we get the real full force. Sam Bankman Fried, FTX, depression, blow, right? Whale selling, all the worst things you can have here. And we made our way to 8 cents. Okay. And we had a lower low than the previous low, which looks absolutely terrible for Jewel, for DeFi Kingdoms. And in this particular area, I was shitting on Jewel. I'm sorry. I just was. Because I didn't like what I was seeing. Right? I'm still here. I'm still playing the game. I'm still having fun. I'm still like, oh, this is a cool thing, right? Like I've been an OG. I'm in here. The heroes are cheaper. Let me continue buying these heroes. But price action wise, I was like, this is mother effing horrible, right? I need to see something from Jewel before I start to feel bullish. So, watching this pattern, we then went lower to 7 cents, right? Once we had this spike from 7 cents, I said, hey guys, well, we have bullish divergence. We have bullish divergence. And what is bullish divergence? I feel like I've regurgitated this a million times. So bullish divergence is when you have RSI, relative strength index, making higher highs, which is an indicator of buying pressure in the market, having higher highs, higher high, but you have price coming down. So the first thing we saw was bullish divergence. From that moment, we wanted to see an impulse go above that capitulation June 2022 low. From there, we said, what would be nice to see? An inverse head and shoulders. And again, when you make a call, people will say, "Oh, this guy's just doesn't know what's going on here." Like what? So we had our first shoulder, we had a head, and we had a second shoulder. And while that second shoulder was happening, from the first impulse, Jewel had gone down a total of 57% and made a little bit of an impulse up above that capitulation 2022 low and proceeded to do what? Proceeded to go down another, what is this? Oh crap, messed this up. And proceeded to go down another 44%. But we said if this inverse head and shoulders plays out, we have an impulse to the neckline coming, the neckline of 29 cents. So even while we were at 7 cents, we had a 714, 21, 28, a 4x guesstimation coming up. What happened? From there, we had the shoulder form, we had the head form, we had the shoulder form, escape velocity, and we had 1,000% run from Jewel with this inverse head and shoulders that we were looking at. And this inverse head and shoulders took what? Took 154 days, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 5 months to play out. 5 months it took this inverse head and shoulders to play out, and we got 1,000% run that went as high as 80 cents. Okay. So if now we are looking at another possible inverse head and shoulders that has now taken how long to play out? 714 days, and another inverse head and shoulder, another possible inverse head and shoulders that has taken 2 years, almost 2 years, to play out. The longer the time, the longer the consolidation, the more aggressive the price action. Okay. So anyone can look at this on Jewel and say, oh, Jewel is done. Jewel is crashing. Jewel is going to see zero. Anybody can say that. But from what my eyes can see, I see a shoulder, a head. Oh my mother effing goodness. Another mother effing shoulder forming to complete an inverse head and shoulders that is now about 2 years old with a historical capitulation area that's trying to turn that into support. Now, we're going to talk about what's to come, but let's tap into the chat and see what chat is up to in the meantime. Nothing too crazy going on in the chats. Guys, I'm sorry if I'm boring you. I'm sorry if this is not game night, but oh my mother effing goodness. Like I just want you guys to understand the historical, just like this is mind blowing. What we're looking at, right? This is do or die, and this goes back. This goes back to my have you ever seen a do or die moment? And so as I'm saying this, I'm sweating bullets. I'm sweating mother bullets because guess what? I only have like 200 Joule to my name. And I'm just like, oh shit, man. Okay. If we're looking at Bitcoin to start going crazy. We're looking at the things that have been underperforming to start really performing. And you only have 200 Joule. G mother effing golly, what is happening? Right? So Sticks says to check my donate. So I'm gonna check my donate. We're gonna refresh here. Oh, Sticks. Uh, why are you doing this to me, Sticks? Huh? Why are you doing this to me? Let me see if I can zoom in here. Oh gosh, what did I press? Let's see. Control. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So Sticks says parabola, durable. Parabola, durable. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to say this multiple times. Sticks intern, shout out to you for the 69 exact Joule donation here. Wow, I think that might be the largest bag I've ever gotten, man. Like I've gotten like 10,000 gold and a bunch of other stuff, but like Sticks, man, like you're making me blush, man. Making me blush. And then we have two noobs that says, let's burn these blow tots. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for this donation here. I've already clarified that, these are either going to go for giveaways or I'm going to hold on to this donate live account. Nothing will be withdrawn from here. We're going to ride this out through the next bear market. Best believe it. I am not touching any of this. This is all going through the next bear market. And that is the emphasis here of this treasury, right? So appreciate you, Sticks, for this beautiful donation here. Sticks is just a mother effing goat, okay? He's just a mother effing goat, and that's the end of that, okay? Um, yeah, I love donate. Yeah, I do too. I do too. Um, Dax said, I can't do what he does right now. Mega has all the access to the jewelers and he's out tonight. That's okay, Dax. That's okay. Okay. Mega also needs his breaks, man. We're gonna be in there holding it down. So, you know, like like I just this is what I see. Okay. This is what I see. I see another mega inverse head and shoulders forming. And if I'm wrong, Jewel sees new lows and we die. We die and we go to zero. But is that really what I think is going to happen? Hell to the F no. Okay. Now we're going to zoom in. We're going to zoom into the daily chart and understand how important this historical area is. Okay. First of all, what does it say? Bullish divergence June of 2024 at this historical 11 cents area. Now, when it got to this historical 11 cents area, right? Yesterday, daily candle, it went there. It even went down to like 11.2 and it immediately bounced from there. Okay. So I want to show you guys the bullish divergence that I see here. Price down, market buying. Price down, market buying. Bullish divergence. Usually what happens from there is you get relief. Okay. You get relief to the next resistance area. The next resistance area is 15 cents. So is it can I make a healthy inference that from that historical area, what we need to see is a 35% move, so about 15 cents. I believe I can make that inference. From there, we have this bull market area, right? Or this F around and find out zone. You guys have heard me talk about the F around and find out zone for Bitcoin, which is between, I believe, 30K and 46K. That's the F around and find out zone for Bitcoin. And this is that area for Jewel, right? You see a lot of just zigzag consolidation area for Jewel. And so the next move to 15 cents, then you're gonna melanger around this bull market support area. And really what we're looking for is, if you see the drawing that I have here, a super aggressive move to 74 cents, back test of that 30-cent area. And then we can start talking about why there is absolutely nothing stopping Jewel. I repeat, there's absolutely nothing stopping Jewel once it leaves 74 cents. You got a little bit of traffic here. Yeah, whatever. It might spend a week or so there. But there's nothing stopping Jewel from getting to $3.48. $3.48. And really, then when you leave the weekly chart and you go to the monthly chart, right? There's there's very little resistance up until about $4.22, really and truly at that $5.58 area. So this is it. Okay. This is it. Okay. This is what we're tracking. Parabolic. Okay. Altcoins that have underperformed are looking to overperform. And I believe Jewel is one of those things. And I believe GameFi, all right, GameFi tokens are one of those things. So guys, tell me your thoughts on that. What are you looking to accumulate right now? What are you thinking about holding right now? I would love to find some liquidity, get some Metis, get some Jewel, and work my way up from there. I mean, a really psychological area for Jewel is $1. I believe Sticks made a mention of that here. Let's go through the chat real quick. I've seen keep us in your heart. Yes, boom, and get partnered with. Yeah, Donate is doing some wonderful things. Dax says, man, Jewel over $1 doesn't feel good for summoning. If this happens, the third age of summoning comes to. Listen, you got to get it in while it's cheap. We've all been saying get it in while it's cheap, right? In the past, we've summoned, man. In the past, we've summoned like $100 per summon, $30 per summon. Like it's been some really devious summons here, right? Actually, I did hold a Gen Zeros and still holding it. I'm still trying to accumulate. Um, I'm still trying to accumulate a Gen Hero. Don't have one yet. How does Jewel impact summoning? Dax says I'm holding Blow, Honk, and Heroes. All right, Dax, I'm glad you're still holding Honk, man. It's I one of my tweets I said that meme coins are gonna go through a 90% correction. And we're actually going to look at the meme coin end of things, especially on the AVAX network. Why not? We're in that ecosystem, right? Two Noob says I bought my first heroes at like 1,000, and it's a Gen 2 warrior with gosh, that hurts. That hurts, Two Noobs. But look, if you've been in this space for long enough, we've been there. We've done that. My first two heroes that I picked up, each for 500, sold to me on Discord. I still have them. One of them currently does hunts for me, has a bow. It's an archer, and then the other one I have stuck at level 14. It's a thief. It's a common. I don't know if I want to level it up or if it's gonna be a good thief or whatever. So I've stopped it at 14, especially since it's a common. We'll wait to see. But the first two that I ever got, I don't think I'll ever sell, just because of that psychological connection there. So yeah, Dax said I got into DFK because I couldn't afford Axie. So you decided to throw hundreds of thousands of dollars into DFK. Stick says, bro, if this IHS plays out, trade room, I'll be so impressed. That's wilderness. Listen, the first inverse head and shoulders I called, no one was expecting, right? And then that inverse head and shoulders ran to 80 cents, and I started selling. I sold at 40 cents. I sold at 60 cents, and then I sold at 70 cents. And I mean, my engagement went crazy. People were like, "Oh, you're selling? Why are you selling? Why? Yeah." And it was the right move. So this next impulse sticks. We're gonna see. We're gonna see this next impulse. We're gonna see what happens. I just don't have enough jewel yet, so I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned that I don't have enough jewel yet. But we'll see. We'll see. Because for most people looking at this jewel chart, they'll say, "Oh, Jewel's gonna die. Jewel's dead. DeFi Kingdom is dead." And we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how that plays out, right? So Kupo says, I bought my first hero around 500, which was a common warrior gardener. Kupo, do you still have that hero? I still have my first two that I bought for a ridiculous amount. That I think now sits at $5. But I love this ecosystem. And Dag says all the time, like I'm just here having fun, man. And with the gameplay now available, definitely got to that place where like having fun. I just really having fun. So that's Jewel. That's what we're looking at over the next few weeks. We're expecting a nice impulse from Bitcoin, and we're expecting Jewel to follow through and really start to perform. Other things in the DeFi Kingdom's ecosystem, you guys know that I've been accumulating meme coins. You guys know that I've been big on Honk. I saw that Renpen, right? I saw that Renpen made an appearance on Sergeant Filthy McNasty's stream, and for some reason I was very, very excited for that. First of all, we have a sausage fest in DeFi Kingdoms. I think it's like 99.9% males. And Renpen has been a consummate female in this space, and she's a honker, and and she's pretty dope. She's pretty dope. So to see her actually have come on stream, I want to see her come on more. And hey, maybe she'd be willing to come to the jewelers and hang out and have a chat. For Honk, looking at it, if there was any time to accumulate some Honk, and if there's any time where Honk parity has come close to Jewel, this is that time. Have I lost my faith in Honk? Hell, mother effing no. Like, dude, like when I said meme coins are gonna correct 90%, I truly meant that. I wasn't, I wasn't like, that wasn't hyperbole. Like, that wasn't hyperbole. Honk, 86% correction. It wasn't hyperbole. Okay. Now I did think Honk was gonna hold this 43 cent area, and it didn't. It came back to its baseline. But I really like Honk. I really like, because Honk is forever entangled with DeFi Kingdoms. They now have like 8 to like 12 Gen Zeros. There's a lot happening in the Honk ecosystem. They are doing a bunch of airdrops, which plays a part in this. But for me, I love Honk. I think Honk is due to come back into the zone here. And for all the meme coins, on the DeFi Kingdoms blockchain, I think Honk is the best. I think Honk is the healthiest. And I think Honk is due to make the most upside. Okay. So really and truly looking at Honk on a weekly chart, we want to make our way back in here. And we want to find our escape velocity. I still like this $2 region for Honk. Nothing has changed. And I think as Jewel starts to go parabolic, we can see Honk make some moves. The other thing in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem is Blow. We saw Blow do its launch, and what we said about Blow is that, and we were looking at the 3-day chart, is everybody was all frantic and said, "Oh, Blow, it wasn't successful. Nothing went right." And what I said was that Blow, the 3-day candles, right? Each candle was 3-day. What I wanted to see for Blow was for Blow to close out that second 3-day candle above or at these two support resistance lines. And we got that. Right? And not a lot of history on Blow. KP is doing his thing, working through what he has to work through. And so now we have the second week, right? 1 week here, which we wanted the first week to finish at or above the support line here. It did that. Happy to see that. The next thing is the second week, right? What you normally have from the body of a wick is a 50% correction. Okay, downward. So if I take the body of this, all right, this in total, right, 100% down. What I want to see is, let me just stress this out here. This thing can only go as low as a 50% correction to find support. You're not always going to get, oh, this is going up forever and da 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 da. So now when you do charts, you want to look at what am I looking for. So as this week closes, which Sunday on the East Coast, 7 p.m. is the close for Blow. I would like to see Blow. Oh, crap. That's crazy. Okay, look at that. The first time it went down, it actually found pretty good support here at this 50% correction here. What we would like to see from Blow is, even if it's going to correct throughout this week, we would like to see it come back down. And even if it takes a long time to find support here, find support here and start making its way out of here. I believe that September is when that land giveaway is. And so if we're looking at the inference that we've made here, we'd love to see blow, find a bottom here. And as we go towards September, to see more buy pressure for blow as the land giveaway begins to be promoted. What is my plan? Well, I've put my blow into staking. I would love to get land, but I'm not too optimistic that I will win it. And so, what I plan to do is to start selling all of the extra earnings that I'm getting from Blow in an attempt to recoup the initial funds that I put in there. And that will be done towards the August region. Late August is when I will start to try to sell some blow, possibly to buy jewel, possibly to recoup the funds that I put in there. But that's what we're looking at from blow. We're looking at support at this avenue here. So, gonna tap into the chat, see what's going on here as well. We have Chastity. Hey, haven't caught you in a while. Hey, what's up, Chastity? Man, how you doing? I got the DFK to be Dags. Red Pan, what up? Man, I loved seeing you on Sarge stream. I think you need to make more rounds, and honestly, we gotta talk. We gotta talk, man. We gotta talk because we're both honkers. We're both honkers. So it says I have more jewel in my pants than in my mask. Whoa, Sarge. You're being filthy today, man. You're being filthy today. If you're my exit liquidity, you can track my wallets. Deal with wife 800K value. I have to auto liquidate. You guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at for blow. Let me go to my banners and see because look, back to the tweet here, right? If I can find this tweet here and share it. Let's open this up here. Share this tab. Yeah. So yeah, honey, the top is near. Honey, my honey says, "Are we rich yet?" So I maintain that with all these charts that we look at, I believe October is a very dangerous area. October is a very dangerous area. To me, that's near where the top of the market will be. I'm still solidifying my positions and different things. I'm still not where I need to be. I'm working on that, especially with Jewel. This is not financial advice. I think Bitcoin is a few days, 7 to 10 days, 7 to 14 days away from like $10,000 monthly candles. This is just what the chart tells us. And so preparing for parabolic price action, preparing for Jewel to hold that 11-cent area and for Jewel to start going absolutely ballistic, preparing for those underperformers, XRP, Cardano, Jewel, AVAX, all these things that were underperformed a little bit to start going crazy. And that's really what this specific stream is about, coming back, right? My charting journal, my personal journal, that's just where I'm at with things. I believe Skiller had some charts that he mentioned that we could take a look at. So we're going to take a look at some of Stick's charts. If you guys have things that you want me to look at, let me know. We are going to look at another ecosystem, Spellborn. which Mega, put us on to. As I said already, I'm big on backwoods as well, even though I did not pick up an NFT. So because I didn't pick up an NFT, I can't accumulate points, and because of that, I haven't been playing as much. But those who picked up those NFTs at 1.2 Soul, those NFTs are sitting at like 3 Soul, 4 Soul, 5 Soul, right? So big up to the jewelers for having the kahunas to jump in there. So I believe one of Skiller's suggestions was Mina. So let's see if I can pick up Mina here. And I believe one of the Mina um, price charts that I looked at, I may have drawn some things on. So maybe it was the Coinbase one. I'm not sure. Sticks. I don't remember. But I'm gonna share this. I believe. Oh, so yeah, I believe when me and Sticks started looking at it, it made its first impulse here, and then it continued higher. What I'm seeing from Mina right now, and let me throw the Bollinger Bands on, is it's kind of bearish right now, Skiller. Um, Looking at the monthly, yeah, it's kind of bearish right now. Um, and when I'm looking at the daily gives me a better indication of what is going on here for Mina Skiller. I think a good baseline here is 51 cents. If you're the type that believes in this ecosystem, that's like a solid area to say, hey, okay, well, I'll buy the dip, I'll dollar cost average. And what is the ultimate, I wouldn't say ultimate upside, but what is a good upside for Mina? Excuse me. It's about $3, So, if it corrects down to this 51 cent area here, about a 470% move. But it's definitely in the corrective period here. So that's my outlook on it. It still has some more downside to go. But from this 51.60 area, it's about, $3 is where that upside is, where I see that. And I'll do one more. Let's do KDA. Let's do KDA here. And we'll jump on this chart here. KDA actually looks sexier than a mother effer. 200 is no way. No way. No way. That cannot be the actual KDA. Okay, KDA USDT. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, this is crazy. Okay, so this was one of the ones that Skiller you had me look at, and it made a tremendous run. It looks absolutely disgustingly bearish right now. Um, I did believe the ultimate upside was about $32. It's right at support. It's actually right at support. So this is a do or die moment. But when I look at the daily, because the daily is bottomed out, and look at this. This is interesting. The daily here is it made a lower low on RSI, but the price is maintaining this upwards action here. So I do think that has also found its bottom as well. So the high end was $32. Based upon this correction, that's no longer the high end. I believe $4.35 is probably the best that it does during this bull market, and that's still about a 600% run. So not sure if you're still here, Skiller, but that's kind of the outlook on that as well. So I do want to plug you guys into something. That's a lot of the charts that we'll look at. One thing that I want to finish off with these charts that we're looking at. You guys know that I've been big on Swift Okay. So if we're talking about some of the charts that I was looking at that are doing really well, let's look at some of the ones that are not doing well. I'm not one to come and boast and not look at the things that are not doing well. So Let's look at Swift Tissel. Okay. I'm going to share this tab. Has my opinion on Swift Tissel changed? No. My opinion on Swift Tissel has not changed. I did see that in Token Factory that Swift Tissel supply has started to go up. It may be because of the bloater effect, as how we've gotten more people going over to Serendale 2.0, questing, stacking up bloaters, looking to fry them and convert those to blow. But I mean, this is just simply a corrective period. Again, if I were to receive $1,000 at the moment, I would think of Honk, Metis, Jewel, and then probably Swift Tissel to divvy up in fourths. And so we had a similar correction here. I'm still really bullish on Swift Tissel. I mean, look at that. The RSI is coming down, and it's just a natural corrective period here. And I think that corrective period is soon to be over. And I still believe Swift Tissel makes its way to about 61 cents. That has not changed. But I am intrigued about the supply that's been going up for Swift Tissel. And I'm gonna do a further investigation to find out why the supply for Swift Tissel has changed. I want to find out why that has started to increase. My my thought process is that you know there's been more people shifting over to Serendale 2.0, especially with this big blow push. But that will soon pass, and I think this is an absolute fantastic time to stack up Swift Tissel. Not financial advice, but not only for gameplay, but also too for the future appreciation of Swift Tissel. So, Skiller, I heard you. Those two breakdowns on Mina and KDA. Uh, I hope that was helpful. But yeah, those are the ones that I'm looking at. So, guys, as always, while I'm in chat, if you have some things that you may want me to look at, by all means, let me know and I will look at them here. Um, we looked at blow, we looked at a bunch of different things. I am of the opinion, and I am one who is stacking up karate, even though things do not look too sweet right now. I think karate is not like Jewel, it's not deflationary, but based upon the momentum that is building right now, especially if you were able to get some free karate for buying the gis, I do think that karate has a chance to go to about 2 cents, 2.3 cents, which is a 1,500% move, and it's been even correcting even more. So that's looking like a 2,000% move. I'm big on that once it gets through its current corrective period. So the last thing that I do want to finish off with here, if we go over, is Spellborn is the alpha. The alpha. So that's something that Mega says. And over at the Jewelers, we try to tap into other ecosystems, right? We look to tap into other ecosystems. And so, Spellborn is one of those ecosystems that I've tapped into. So, I will continue to showcase, Spellborn and what that looks like. And in my most recent tweet, I said, working on a class of rare and mutated mons on my squad, as Mega would say, Spellborn is the alpha. And these are some of my heroes here. I want to share, just here this gameplay and what that looks like. I planted some fruits here, which I used that to feed my mons. And the biggest thing that I want to make clear is that they're in beta, right? Which means that they're not fully out. I believe they'll be launching on AVAX. But the thing that I really like is the daily missions, right? You do daily missions, you can claim points, but you also, all the items that are in the game, you can receive from doing these daily missions, and you get a chance to build out your mons. And this is the beta, right? Before it all launches. So we're going to continue to talk about this in the Jewelers podcast. They're going a little bit of a different angle than they're going a little bit of a different angle than the DeFi Kingdoms team did, which the DeFi Kingdoms team, everything is a token, everything is an asset. You control those assets, and the price volatility of those things fluctuate over time. With Spellborn, they did a beta where a lot of the cryptocurrency portion of those things haven't launched yet, right? And that allowed them to provide the mobile end of things where I can literally go on my phone and complete my daily missions, complete my farmers missions. I can simply just go on my phone, come in on the weekly login and claim, my next thing, right? Boom. I claimed day four. I'm on day four. Yeah, I claimed day four and I got that, right? And so it's a really cool game. It's really close to Pokemon. I like it. It's simple. You come in, you do daily things like, hey, some of these chests are open here. You open it up. It gives you more in-game items that you can use to kind of stack up, right? And so coming in, playing in daily is pretty awesome. We're gonna continue to do more research on. Oh, I got some gold. We're going to continue to do more research on what their active users looks like, what their token is going to come and look like. But I enjoy this, especially when MetaMask had their issues, right? When MetaMask had their issues, I just hopped over to Spellboard, right? I hopped over to Spellboard and did my thing there. What up, Worm? Welcome, Worm. Uh, if the early chat, Sarge said, "Hey, I'm the first here," and I said, "Well, early bird gets the worm, right?" so, yeah, Spellborn is one ecosystem that I'm very, very much into, and the jewelers have continued to highlight this ecosystem. If you're someone who played Pokemon, like this is just a really cool ecosystem to be in. You can farm, you can do different things, you can level up your heroes. There's this pond here. I like to pull up here and well, I like to pull up here and fight some of these. I'm leveling up my heroes. And again, this is all in the beta. Okay. I might have a chance to capture another paddle. I have one paddle as of now, but I have a chance to capture another paddle. So I want to show you guys what this gameplay looks like. And I want to know if you guys get any nostalgia, right? Do you get any nostalgia at all? Like this is Pokemon, right? If you guys do, I think that this is a very, very wonderful game to. What the hell? Did I flee? I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Okay. So now I'm just gonna have to kick ass. I was trying to show you guys what capturing a monster looks like, and capturing a monster is one of those things that you can do and get points for and get loot for, so that you can continue doing, what you have to do. But it's pretty simple. It's pixelated. I think it's pretty fun, and we're gonna continue to showcase this here. But I beat Flarpy. I won a battle. I get points, and as I get points, I get a chance to level up my heroes. And again, this is all in the beta. All right, all in the beta form. And when this gets released, we anticipate a lot of anticipation going into this ecosystem. So I wanted to show you guys that, show you the gameplay a little bit, what that looks like, and how that's coming along. My favorite hero is this capybara. You know, It's like, I think it's from like South America. It's like a really big rat. It's like a really big rat. So that's one of my favorite monsters here, and I feed him parsnip to get his trust up. And the thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to mutate, right? I'm trying to level these guys up and mutate them. So yeah, we're in the DeFi Kingdom ecosystem. We love it, but there are other ecosystems in which we partake in. So that really will be all for today's stream. Want to thank you guys for being here. If you have not put a thumbs up yet, put that thumbs up, and share or like this stream. I want to kind of just wrap this up here by going into and promoting the Jewelers podcast that is going to be coming on in a few minutes here. It's going to be myself and Daz. We're going to go through a lot of the updates for the week and the AMAs and what we have and some hot takes as well. And, you know, before we wrap up, I'm going to share this, right? Honey, the top is near. Are we rich yet? Parabolic price action is coming. Are you prepared for it? Have you stepped up for it? Do you know what your exit is going to be? Do you know what timelines that you are looking at? I'm looking at October. That's just my personal choice, my personal opinion. I'm looking to secure my gains between that time and still prepare for the next bear market that's coming up. The top is near. The top is near. I am calling it. Jewel inverse head and shoulders. I am calling it. Bitcoin $10,000 monthly candles. I am calling it. That is coming soon, and that is what we are looking forward to. Worm says you never played Pokemon? That's crazy. Stick says, bro, it's a giant guinea pig. Yeah, the capybara looks like a giant guinea pig. And you know, shout out to Stick's intern. I know, like, he jumps into some of the ecosystems and some of the games that we're involved in. And so shout out to him for that. Yeah, the capybara looks like a giant guinea pig, right? He says, how dare you disrespect my people? No, I don't mean to do that, Sticks. Guinea pigs rule the world. Uh, I'm more of a bunny guy. I'm a rabbit guy, Sticks. You know that, man. You know that, man. But guys, catch me on the Jewelers coming up in a few minutes. Thank you guys for being here. Love the community. Took some breaks, but still appreciate the support from you guys all the way. I try to bring, you know, a little bit different than what most of the other streamers are bringing. Dealt with some family issues. We're back. We're ready to go. We're ready to finish out this bull market. And DeFi Kingdoms community still heavily strong. Guys, love you. I will catch you on the next one, which is literally coming up in a few minutes. Peace. I'll catch you on other ones. We finish off with Stick saying, bunny guys are chill and in the guinea pig world. Yes, we are all with our friendly animals. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for being here.